I have a lot to say, so I guess I'll take you through three poems and then add on to everything I said at this point, I understand the seductive lie of power very well at this point. To believe that I have it means these circumstances are circumstances that with grit and effort I could actually change to something more favorable to my preferences. The trouble from my vantage point is once again I find myself increasingly in the same state I was in as a child, adrift and at sea and at the mercy of forces much larger and more powerful than myself, powerless and faced within the feminist cause, in a moment where the movement seems to think merely throwing us like cannon fodder at other men is going to affect change somehow. I posted this image of Scrinbot's comment, or is evidence where he basically says women would be put in cages to sell. He says, if I were in charge, civilization would have zero Western white people, zero socialist and zero left wings, only conservative people all around the world. Women would be put in cages to sell to men. Even women would be double as much as men. They would be lost every fight. They would lost every fight. You would be considered a woman too. You're white and a feminist, so you would never survive in a global civilization. It seems like this will happen soon. No more silent, no more playing games. Just war between the 5% lefties and 95% of the conservatives on the entire planet. You don't even know, man. I mean, if it was really that stark, then how come Democrats win ever? Recall that not 2 weeks ago I pointed out that things weren't that if I were in charge, things would not be so harsh to women, and that the obliviousness and the crash test dummies would have been tested on female-sized crash test dummies, only to have my channel and my corner of the web completely slammed by men who came in to flood my channel with misogyny. The internet's response to any man that tries to stand up for women is, she's not gonna fuck you, bro, and white knight. So, excuse me, but if your idea for how to fix this shit is to have men call out men's shitty behavior, this corner of the web has plenty of the world's shitty behavior, and this is how they respond every time we speak up in your favor. Way ahead of you. Been doing that for a while now for all the fucking good it does. So, I used to think that women were the more stubborn ones, and I miss thinking that, but these odious, disgusting, unfuckworthy, unfuckable toads have convinced me at this point that they are bound and determined to keep being odious, unfuckable toads, and that my attempt at intervention is utterly pointless. So honestly, if the feminist movement's whole plan is to have men fix man, then I have some bad news for you girls. You're fucked. That isn't a viable strategy. And then I wrote, again, it's like women either have no idea how bad it's gotten, or they're in denial. Since about 2010, I've effectively lived in a dystopian hellscape where I can barely write "I agree" in response to a woman without some mouth-breathing shithead third party jumping down my throat with "she's not gonna fuck you, bro," into the comment section as if it were even possible as if wasn't even possible I happened to share a woman's opinion, and the only possibility that was that I was posturing for the pussy. Meanwhile, some of the ideas that I've seen them suggest is, men need to call out men's shitty behavior more. Well, I've done that, and all I've gotten for it is called the White Knight. I'm sick of fucking everything. Gigantic Meteor 2028. Miss Candy Girl writes, this must have been written from experience. Women are forced to their own. Women, just like myself, tend to follow their own rules and beliefs. You'll learn to understand her. Just be patient. And then Alternative Pixie wrote, fuck that guy, gal, or person. Tell them she's not gonna fuck you either, bro. Yeah, seriously. But then I finally deigned to share some of the backstory of this channel and everything. You see, this is a rehash. This is a new version of an old channel. So roughly 2012, my old channel, I made a video, ineffective, why is everyone hating on those pesky games? Razorblade Candy found my channel, started trash-talking me, called me a white knight for having the audacity to defend Jen, and I was flooded with shill cries of she's not gonna fuck you, bro, which led directly into the unhinged conspiracy theory about me that I've been dealing with for nearly 20 years at this point. Suffice to say that the comments essentially would indicate that the general reception was the only possibility was the only possible way that I would take this woman's side would be that I was pretending to agree because I wanted to hit it. Because that's the only way the comments could be true. See, she's British, I'm American, you stupid fuck. What am I supposed to do? Cross the Atlantic to bust her out? Be practical. I had a friend around that time who told me her story about how she'd been raped one day, and that she stopped saying no because some men just take anyways, and that very day I decided that sluts weren't real, we made it all up, and that thus they have no objective existence, and even if they did, being a slut was cool, and I like sluts anyways. So of course Jen drops her video already, decided that some girls sleep around because of the trauma, and so I shouldn't shame it, and that this video comes out in a timely fashion right around that period in my life, and the internet and 72 of his unhinged asshat followers all ganged up on me and implied that my agreement was disingenuous and that I just wanted to fuck her and that I was white knighting, which only pissed me off more because the agreement was authentic given the journey that I'd been on and had literally nothing to do with wanting to get laid. So of course, so it was like, oh, she's not gonna fuck me. I know. Fuck off and die, you stupid piece of shit. KYS, you subhuman filth, do the world a favor, and yes, I actually want you to do it, and I will be proud if I push you into it. I will shit on your grave, you stupid piece of shit. So when I say that I can barely choose to agree with you rather than griefing you with some asshole jumping into the comments section like, she's not gonna fuck you, bro. I'm not exaggerating. It is actually that bad. Literally. And not a damn bit better. That is not an exaggeration to the slightest extent. It's not my responsibility to fix these men, and some people are just too far gone anyways. I've lived this since 2012. My poem wasn't a stretch. It wasn't exaggeration. So there's so much bad blood in the water as it is. The unhinged conspiracy theory essentially posits that I pretended to agree with Jen in order to have a chance at that sweet, sweet Putani. And I'm livid. I could kill a man for this. Because the truth is, given what I've come to face with, realizing most of the women we call such mean names are victims of sexualized trauma, I'm not pretending shit. Jen was right. And fuck all of you, all 72 of you subhuman pieces of subhuman filth. If some mass shooter takes you out of the gene pool and I get on that jury for all 72 of you fucking people, who thumbed his video up, every single one of you, I will vote, and I get on that jury, I will take jury duty to commit jury nullification because you had it coming. You deserve to be killed. And I am never going to apologize for having said that. Don't look for it. Because I meant it. So, alas, is the point ultimately of this video. Those women who still believe in their hearts that me confronting toxic men, many of whom live on this particular website, in its comment section in particular, if you still believe that I have power to influence them, then I posit that you are in denial. Go ahead. Continue to comfort yourself with your bubble of delusions, but I live in the real world.